Hi Claire Dervanach, Pelion Conte, Idran Glonagus Bruree. Welcome to Newcastle West on this winter's day. Slippery conditions for the intermediate football final between Glin and Bruree. The Glin team player selected. In goals Mike McLaughlin, the full back line Mike McMahon, John Connolly and John Lynch. Half back line Michael Reedy, centre half back Noel Culhan, and completing the half back line Shane Fitzgerald. Centre field Davy Fitzgerald and Liam Long. The half forward line Paul Corvin, Padraig Hogan and Liam Mulvihill wearing number 17, and the full forward line Tom Sullivan, Kieran Adams and Morris Reedy. Glin hoping to win this intermediate title. This year they were unfortunate to lose the under 21, the minor county title, hoping to have a pleasant surprise for the banks of the Shannon this evening, and they look very, very fit, trained under their trainers Tom Connolly and Jimmy Culhan and their coach Willie Fitzgerald. I never see a Glin team as determined going to a county final. Yes, they're limbering up there. They had great pep talk before the game, hoping for victory this afternoon. And then we have the men from Bruree, better known in relation to the late President of Ireland, Damon De Valera, and the Bruree team favourites for this big occasion. In goals, Andrew O'Shea, the full back line Seamus Murphy, Mike Potter and Peter Finn, the half back line Donald McCarthy, Aidan Frawley and Stephen McDonough. Centre field Robert Fenton and Patrick Cullinan. The half forward line John O'Brien, Eddie Potter and John O'Halloran, and the full forward line Mike Sexton, John Potter and Stephen O'Halloran. And plus 3 Breeze as the referee. In the centre of the field Dennis Richardson, just throwing up something to see the force of the Breeze. Whichever team will play with the Breeze in the first half would have a big advantage, as the Glin team there in front of the cameras getting their photographs taken. Come on, let's go. Come on. Johnny, you get a hand, John, here. You get a hand. Yeah, you're all right, Mike. You're off behind Dennis Richardson in the centre of the field, having a word there with Peter Finn of Bruree before the game starts, as the midfielders Robert Finton and Pat Cullinan in the centre, waiting to throw in there along with Davy Fitzgerald and Liam Long. Denny. Right, Judge? Yes. Well, Denny, Didi, before the big game, what are your predictions?
Well, the Breeze are going to have a very big bearing in this factor. I see Bruree are playing with the Breeze in the first half, and they'll definitely want a good, strong lead. We have a fine young team, and I hope for better conditions top of the ground, but we have to do with it now. And I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I hope it's a good sporting game. I'm very hopeful for a Bruree victory.
Okay, thank you, Denny. Denny Diddy will be joining us for this game this afternoon, the intermediate final. The crowd on the rough side of the field coming in, and what should be a great attendance in Newcastle West, as Dennis Richardson there kicking up the ball, showing that he can play the football as well as the hurling. Any moment the big county final will be on. The intermediate hurling final last Sunday was won by Piercy at the expense of 2 as we stand for a minute's silence. And the minute's silence has been observed for all the Gaels who have laid to rest in the past year. Bruree with the advantage of the Breeze in the first round, as Dennis Richardson synchronises his watching. The ball is in, the game's on, ball breaking down. Glin first in the attack, as the ball coming down towards their centre forward. The centre forward is going for there is Padraig Hogan. Padraig Hogan then let it out to the half forward, and going for there is Paul Corvin, and Paul Corvin there Cindy Dummy, and then this clever underage footballer gone about 20 yards. Glin will use the low ball in the first half, going towards Kieran Adams, and the man from Glin, famed Adams Motor, passing it out, but the pass is is intercepted and gone and Bruree in the first attack. And then coming down to John O'Brien, then come to the centre forward again. There is Ed Potter, dangerous ball down, trying to find the corner forward. Going for there is John Potter and just going very, very near the inline, gone out of the inline. Is gone wide? No. Just Glin keep it in play. Was there a foul? Yes, said the referee. Free for Glin. Free for Glin. Had to judge the flight of the ball. We thought at one stage it had gone out over the line as Glin under pressure in the early stages. Well, wheeling the storm. Ball driven in towards the centre again. Chance here going for it there is the number 14. And the number 14 for Glin is dangerous ball across again, and Bruree has a chance, but Glin manfully in defence, and there Mike McMahon and Mike drive it high, drive very, very near the inline, and there ball coming down, a free there for Bruree, foul there. Or free for Glin, foul there, and Paul Corvin, influential figure, having a great battle with the captain Donald McCarthy there in the early stages. Paul Corvin himself will take this one. Paul, the Barrett sponsored jerseys, kick it forward in towards the centre, and then going for it there is the centre back, and the centre back is Aidan Frawley battling for it there, and then Aidan Frawley soaring in and drive it through the centre. Good ball by Frawley down towards the corner forward is the first score coming up, and going for it there's the full forward John Potter battling for it. John is fouled, and it's a free for Bruree. Chance for the first score for Bruree. John O'Halloran to take it. John O'Halloran normally ever accurate. Will he judge the correct flight of the breeze? As normally this will well within John's range as Liam Long put his hands up there. John kicked high, drop here high and dropping good and just fisted over the bar off the hand of Mike McLaughlin, and John O'Halloran gets the first point from Bruree for a free. Bruree badly wanting good score in the first half, because the breeze, I'm sure, in the second half will be in favour of the Glins. The breeze increasing as Mike McLaughlin there, the 25-year-old Birmingham-born mechanic, placing the ball, and experience with soccer and experience to the world over, in no great hurry to take this kick out as he's judging it in, and then left-footed drive it a good ball to the centre of the field and dropping towards Liam Long fielding, magnificent fielding by Long, and Long, the man who played it, did he foul the ball? No, so the referee Dennis Richardson is still toiling the ball, soaring twice, playing possession football, then being dispossessed, and then Bruree in the attack again, and the free, yes, the free right on the spot, a free, and ready to take it there is the captain Donald McCarthy. Donald leading by example, his right foot or right leg bandaged with the blue strappings, will drive this into the edge of the square, dropping around the edge of the square, and then the Glin back danger there as going for there is Ed Potter. Is Ed fouled? Yes, to the referee, and another chance for John O'Halloran. Or will it be? Yes, John himself will take it. John, his accuracy could have a big bearing in this game, as the scoreboard to our right reads a point for Bruree, no score yet for Glin. We said at the start would be a game of two halves. Will the first half scored by Bruree be adequate enough to win them county title honours, as Dennis Richardson there, hands and hips looking at John O'Halloran, then the steady stance. This is a more difficult kick than the last one, but will he get it over the bar? No, dropping, is there a goal on here? No, good what there, ball dropping off hands up there. Mike McMahon drive it out again, and Glin weathered the star, and Paul Corvin going for it again. Corvin, deadly turn the foot by Corvin, then finding Liam Long, and great football by Glin at the moment, and then coming on again, and then drive it forward again is Shane Fitzgerald. Shane Fitzgerald just gone out off the boot of Shane. Glin supporters for offside the field thought he was fouled when the ball was taken, but Shane says no. As Stephen McDonough, the hurler come footballer, preparing to take this one. McDonough left-footed again, letting the ball do the work, drive it down to the edge of the square, and going for there is John Potter with the ball going in danger here, as going Stephen O'Halloran trying to get it. Stephen trying to avoid the tackle and making angry for himself, doing difficulty in getting it up. Two Glin men around him, then cleverly pass it back to John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran, dangerous ball crosses there, a goal on here. The ball happy at the edge of the square, and then players going for it, then, and a great chance for a second score with the Glin defence rock solid, and none so than John Conley and Michael Normile. Corvin again, the tick of the action. Corvin, this could be the match winner for Glin. Gone about 20 yards, is to play this in the half-forward position, and then with the ball, a clever ball by Corvin trying to find Padraig Hogan, and the big figure of Padraig Hogan battling along through Aidan Frawley, but coming into there is the number 19, and number 19 getting down there, and there danger again, as there in the attack is the centre back again, Aidan Frawley, dangerous ball down again, and Frawley, but Glin, Liam Long, beautiful work by Long, as this man belies his ears as he's driving forward again, setting up an attack, and then Glin coming more into the game. Kieran Adams trying to get it in, there's a free for Glin, quickly taken by Morris Reid, is that a goal coming up? Oh no, says the goalkeeper. Great reading by Andrew O'Shea. Surely he'll be the knight of Bruree tonight, as he's great interception and the timely, well-timed run from the mark by Andrew will take this one himself, take it from the hand, drive it high into the centre again, ball dropping then and getting it there is the number 8 in the midfielder is Robert Fenton. Robert is fouled in transit and it's a free for Bruree. Robert, a clever ball, trying to get his forwards in motion. Robert driving it down towards John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran across again. Is there another score coming up? Pat Cullinan, a great chance for score by Pat, high by Pat, and looks gone to the right and gone wide. Pat Cullinan, listed as A in another in the programme, wearing number 19 and the centre of the field. Just a little unlucky there with that one, just gone over the in-line and gone wide. Had to judge the breeze. Well, at this stage, Bruree want to be taking their chances.
Yes, I'd like to see a couple of more scores on the board there. Unlucky there once or twice. Conditions are very hard on them, and it is very early in the game yet, but they'd want to be building on this 1 point cinder lead.
Okay, thank you, Denny. As the ball coming out again, driven out by Mike McLaughlin into the centre. Majestic feeling there by Robert Fenton. Fenton fouled, and another chance. A retaliation. Foolish thing there by Robert Fenton. A retaliatory foul, and I'm sure that he'd be penalised, and the name will possibly be taken, and the referee will possibly throw in the ball. Noel Culhan limping there.
Donut, let the referee take the time now for this. Just nice and politely now.
Richardson will try in this one. Liam Long waiting for it. By no means a dirty game, just a little the excitement of the occasion getting to the players, as Dennis Richardson preparing to turn the ball and waiting for it there and trying to get it there as a centre forward pattern, but the ball is broken down and Glin fouled in transit and fouled there. Noel Culhan will try his hat out for Glin. Noel still limbering, shaking a bit from that injury, as Liam Long getting this one himself. Liam will take this one from the ground, as Liam was not the person to be fouled. Is Noel a little concussed? The referee Dennis Richardson, he doesn't look great at all from this angle, but knowing the line had the spirit of Noel, it will not be long before he'll resume his position. Liam Long, a good ball, a long ball, and Liam Long trying to find Padraig Hogan. Hogan get hit this time, find it with different conditions, and get here there is the head on McCarthy there into heavy challenge, and then McCarthy drive it out over the inline. They're under tremendous pressure from Padraig Hogan, and then drive it out over the sideline. Paul Corvin, one of the most influential Glin players in the game so far. Paul will drive this one into the centre. A good ball by Paul, trying to engineer the first score. Kieran Adams going for it. The goalkeeper off his line again. Oh, beautiful timing there by Andrew O'Shea. Andrew O'Shea high past Liam Long into the centre. Now Bruree are playing better football last few minutes. Will they wind up in the score? Going for there is John Conley. And the ball goes into the cornerback, and the cornerback is Padraig Mulvihill. Padraig Mulvihill, a good ball out to Michael Reedy. Michael Reedy then patient in the build-up, then going to hefty challenge. Then was he fouled? Yes, the referee free for Glin. Slippery underfoot conditions. Michael Reedy to take this one as John Connolly goes back to his position, and the 22-year-old Michael with the left foot drive it high into the centre, up going for it again and get it there, and break between Liam Long and Robert Fenton, and get it in is Long there dominating the centre of the field. Drive it, good ball by Long. Is there a score coming up there? Padraig Hogan, there's near of expectancy when Hogan gets the ball. Crown it by Hogan and over the bar. Long to Hogan, and Hogan clinical in the finish and high and over the bar. Number 11, Padraig Hogan, the centre forward for Glin. I said he had difficulty with the slippery ball in the early stages. Good point by Padraig Hogan.
Great point there. Great work from centre field there by Liam Long. Very clever work altogether. Have to keep an eye on him.
And then Andrew O'Shea, Glin coming back into the game as Dennis Richardson urged him to drive this ball out to the centre. The ferocity of the breeze increasing. Andrew driving to the side of the field. Paul Corvin going for it along with Donald, and Donald the captain, Donald McCorrig. Ag Farnelly Road, Agus ag Bruree Golada Stock, ag Trice couldn't score at all, and the Glin defence playing rock solid. And there, Morris Reedy drive it high again and into the centre. Paul Corvin going for it, little nudge by Paul, and then the nudge pays off as it's ridden down to Davy Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, but then Steve McDonough, good ball again with the centre backs, no good hand, shrugging off the effects of the injury, the standard of football increasing, getting high as Potter challenging there, Noel drives a very long going for it again, and long give near the sideline, Harris there, both players looking for the line ball, the linesman right in the spot, a line ball from Glin, and out for Bruree on the attack again, and then coming down towards the corner forward, going for it there and trying to get it, but then the Glin cornerback, Padraig Mulvihill, clever ball there, out to Michael Reedy, high into the centre again, coming down, Glin playing better the last few minutes, will they keep them in momentum, there's a free for Bruree, sliding tackle there. Then Bruree in the attack again. That's surely a score from this. As get you there. Mike Sexton, a high ball. Is that a goal coming up? And get you there. Never took his eye off it. Great position there. The goal looks. Will the goal come? Yes, the goal coming. It looked as if it would come. It was coming for a long time. Great work there by John O'Brien using his head. And was it Mike Carey who finished it off?
Stephen
O'Halloran from this angle. John O'Brien. This young man never took his eye off the ball. I said was the goal coming. And John O'Brien must have heard me as he passed the ball over to Stephen O'Halloran. And O'Halloran to the roof of the net. And Mike McLaughlin, as the water comes down, scored a score that could inspire.
This man is good, boss.
John O'Brien to Stephen O'Halloran, and then Mike McLaughlin. When it looked as if Glin were coming back to the game, Bruree up their game there and going for it again is Robert Finton there, but Robert Finton tackled there by Liam Mulvihill. Liam Long, all the teams together, Long to Mulvihill to Long and back again, and trying great at the passing there between them, and Long again get it, and Long then a dangerous throwing ball trying to find Padraig Hogan, but the ball breaking down, and McCarthy, Donald the captain leading by example, can kick with the left footers, and then John O'Brien with the ball fisted away there by Michael Reedy, and Michael Reedy into the centre again, and Glin on the attack, and Getty there's that he always are hopping there by the Shane Fitzgerald. No, so the referee is coming down again, and then Glin in the attack. Will they get that important goal? Is there a free? No, so the referee allows the advantage, and Paul Curran the tawny figure there, trying to find Padraig Hogan, or is it the man Kieran Adams driving out again and trying to find the man in the middle of the field, and the man in the middle of the field is number Michael Reedy, dangerous ball, and then heavy tackle there, and the free for Mike Potter, the full-back. Nothing to more in Potter, the comedian, and then Donald McCarthy waiting for it, and Donald McCarthy, the captain kicks with the right leg this time, and then a good ball by the captain, trying to find Robbie Finton and low ball again, and then two Glin players lose it between them, and coming down then to the corner forward, getting Mike Potter, great ball by Mike, and John Potter high and over the bar. John Potter listed as number 16, playing there in a mighty point by John from playing. Glin going to a goal and 2 points, which is a total of 5. Or Bruree a total of 5, and Glin a point for all the play that had Glin. Bruree came back in the counter attack and scored. Bruree playing much better now.
Playing much better now. It was a great opportunity to score there. Great work by John O'Brien. A great young lad. He played under 16 last year. There's 3 of them on the team. Mighty work. They're going well now.
Driven out again by Mike McLaughlin, and McLaughlin high, the 25-year-old high for offside the field, and very, very near the in-line, and did went off a Glin player, so the linesman right in the spot. Drive it down again, and another chance here for Ed Potter, or is it Mike Sexton high, and goodbye Sexton over the bar. Mike Sexton wearing number 11, get it high and get it over the bar.
Best of the original numbers.
A goal and 3 points. A goal and 2 points for Bruree have come from play. 1 point from a free, and the only point for Glin from Padraig Hogan. A mighty effort came from play. But then it's a game of 2 halves, as Dennis Richardson tells Mike McLaughlin to drive it out. Paul Curran moving to the centre, acting as a third midfielder. A good ball by Mike McLaughlin. Liam Long going for it. Liam Long break it down. Liam Long get it again, and Liam Long trying for it a third time. Then going to challenge from behind. Difficulty there as Robert Finton comes in to challenge and get it there. Liam Long drive it down to Davy Fitzgerald, and then breaking between them as Bruree, very, very clever, and coming in Donald McCarthy. Will he use the left to the right leg this time? He uses the right leg, and the right leg, it is dangerous ball coming down again, dropping towards the edge of the square, and then trying to get there is John Potter, the ball coming across there, another goal coming up. Oh, in desperation, driven by Liam Long out over for driven for 45. Or was it Mike McMahon? It was Mike McMahon out. Liam there, centre the field, Glin under pressure. Will they played better in the early stages. Bruree, the dominating force at the moment. Who will take the 45? Will it be Mike Sexton? It's nearly a line ball as Pat Cullen calling for it. Mike taking the flag from him will drive this across to the edge of the square. Mike drive it well and trying to get it there again is John O'Brien. John O'Brien there battling for it with Mike Brady, or is it John O'Brien? It's Mike Sexton and then gone out over the line. Line ball again.
You're right, it's John O'Brien and Black Dog. You're fine.
The Glin defensive Paul, Mike McMahon and John Connolly and John Lynch under pressure at the moment. Mike Sexton should drop this one in better. Drive it in towards the edge of the square. Glin there to the forefront again. And Noel, good work there by the Glin backs. And then they're trying to find a man. But the ball coming down again towards the half forward. And the half forward in question is Liam Mulvihill. Liam Mulvihill battling there with Steve McDonough. And then drive it crossed into Noel Culhan. Noel Culhan, a dangerous ball down to the corner. And ball battling there. And good work there by Peter Finn. Peter Finn to ball. Glin appearing for a foul. As there, Morris Reedy and Tom Sullivan battling for it. Vocal crowd on the far off side of the field. Will be Padraig Hogan. Padraig Hogan going out from the centre forward position to take this free. Glin badly in need of a score. Bruree in the driving seat. As conditions very, very bad in Newcastle West. Good ball by Padraig Hogan. Then down to the corner forward, back to Padraig Hogan. And then Padraig himself will take it. There is it Paul Corvin. Hogan with the ball. Hogan a dangerous ball across. Glin, the attack is at a goal coming up. And then a great chance there. High, just gone over the inline and gone wide. Liam Mulvihill there, an opportunity, but then the ferocity of the breeze taking that ball out over the inline and wide. Yes, we should be in for an enthralling second half as Andrew O'Shea preparing to take this kick out. The umpires on the far off side of the field huddled under the wind and the rain. It's more like, I hope we won't get the floods they were experiencing in Italy last year. Even the Pope was nearly drowned as the ball driven out to the centre again. And Getty there as the centre back, one centre man to the other. And Frawley, good ball, Aidan Frawley down to Donald McCarthy. Donald McCarthy, he'll use the left leg this time. No, he goes for his foul instead. Fouled in transit, had a good ball by Donald to Mike Sexton. Will we see another Mike Sexton point there? The dummy first. And then Pat Cullen. Pat will try for the point. A good one by Pat and going just over the inline and gone wide. Mike Sexton, Pat Cullen, and the strong big figure wearing number 19 of Pat in the centre of the field, trying the points from long range. As the scoreboard reads, 6 points for Bruree, 1 point for Glin. Well, Danny, the standard of play deteriorated in the last few minutes.
Yes, indeed, but a lot of it has to go down to the conditions. Like, there's no doubt every fella's giving his best out there, so I wouldn't be too hard on them, you know. The Glin game, it seems to be try a short passing, couple of movements, and then try and find an opening. I hope they keep at that.
Pat Cullen going for it again. Pat wearing number 19 will try and find the corner forwards, drive it up there, but Glin resolute in defence and great work there. And the corner by Michael McMahon drive it forward again, but then Stephen McDonough, the hurling Stuart McDonough, greeting that ball down. Liam Long are going for it. Noel Culhan battling for it there, and then there's Liam Long had to distinguish between the two of them, and Long turning defence into attack, trying to find Paul Corvin, but pulled in there, and great work there. Is there a foul off the ball? No, as Peter Finn pulling it there. Standard of football gone very, very hard at the moment. You free, so the referee, leg going in, and the free for Glin. Glin visibly shaken by that Bruree goal. Will they come back and will they win? Well, the questions, but we'll know the answer to in quite a few moments as Liam Long prepared to take this one himself. Liam doing an amount of work in the centre of the field. Wearing number 9, the 28-year-old man from the banks of the Shannon, preparing to kick this one, kick it well, kick it high into the centre, going up for there, mighty work there, and coming down to the corner forward, Tom O'Sullivan making angles from himself. It's a dangerous ball. Is there a goal coming up here? No, it's to the goalkeeper, Andrew O'Shea, and Andrew O'Shea drive it high into the centre again. Ball dropping down, flicked on forward again. Liam Long judging the ball to perfection. Then Liam Long bringing his half hours there and going for it there is Mike Mulvihill dispossessed, and Steve McDonough drive it forward again and going for it in the second time. He's trying to get it there as a half back. The half back is Michael Reedy, then driving a high ball and going for there is John Potter trying to break it down, and the ball, John is fouled in transit and it's free for Bruree. Ball taken up again. Is there another score coming up? No, John Connolly's sound is personified, and the contractor 6 foot coming again, showing that he's made of steel, drive it forward, trying to find Paul Corvin. Paul Corvin will try passing to him and then left-footed, drive it, trying to find the corner forward. Going up there is Paul with the other Paul Sexton, and Paul Sexton back. Seamus Murphy back. Seamus Murphy down. The captain, Donald McCarthy, clever ball to the man that made the goal, John O'Brien. A clever ball by John O'Brien across again to the centre, and Mike Sexton going for it. Mike Sexton, good work but the build-up is great. John caught it in. Will they finish up then? And John O'Brien going down for it. And John O'Brien, will he get the point? A high ball by O'Brien and the good ball. And yes, it's over the bar. O'Brien are out. John O'Brien, a magnificent point. His years belie the experience of this man. Great point by John O'Brien.
A great score again off John. If we could keep the ball down this wing at all, I think John can make things happen. Himself and Mike Sexton are really playing very well.
And then a score, 1 goal and 4 points to 1 point as the goalkeeper, John O'Brien, made the goal and then sending that one over the bar. Mike McLaughlin being urged to drive out the ball, and the man born in Birmingham playing for Glin in Newcastle West, drive it high again. It's all Bruree at the moment. John O'Halloran looking for the goal as the ball coming down, gone out over the in-line, gone wide. Next Sunday's the Feast of Christ the King, but they aren't thinking of that feast at the moment as the ball being driven out again, and then on the rampage again Robert Finton, ball back by Robert, he's juggling like a man of the circus down to Mike Sexton, and Mike Sexton, will he get the point? And Mike making an angle for himself, a high ball, the breeze floated in but floated over the in-line and wide. Yes, sir, Bruree beginning to rest on their laurels, or would Glin come back? Every score will be valuable in the second half as Robert Finton feed it well there, and Mike Sexton just drive it over the in-line as the referee Dennis Richardson has a cautionary word with Mike McLaughlin to urge him to hurry on, kicking out the ball. A switch in the Glin team. Padraig Hogan, number 11, is in the half forward, and the captain Donald McCarthy and Paul Corvin is centre forward. Driven out again by Mike McLaughlin to the centre. Ball coming then to the centre. Get it there is Robbie Finton. A better ball this time, trying to get his half forwards in question, and the ball coming very, very near the end line. And Eddie pulling it, and Eddie Potter just appeared to be from this angle. The ball for Bruree. Will Eddie take it himself, or will the captain come, or will it be Mike Sexton? Yes, Eddie told from the sideline to drive it in. In he drives it, and ball dropping around the edge of the square. And Stephen O'Halloran good, and yes, it's gone over the bar. Mike McLaughlin disagrees, but the umpire right in the spot as O'Halloran good, and O'Halloran getting his point, the man that got the goal. The scoreboard reads 1 goal and 5 points for Bruree, 1 point for Glin. The Bruree followers urging their players to keep the momentum going as they know they're facing a stiff task in the second half. Mike McLaughlin to take this one. A good ball by Mike, high into the centre, waiting for the breaking ball there, and ball breaking down again, and going for it there is John Lynch, and John Lynch with the ball. John Lynch trying to, did he overhaul the ball? No, so the referee surrounded by the other, and the ball coming down again, and coming down to Paul, or Pat Cullinan, and Pat Cullinan, a dangerous ball across, dropping down again. Where will the breaking ball go to? And the breaking ball drop going around the edge of the square to John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran there trying to use the soccer style as the Glin defence regroup. John gets his second bite of the cherry. John is fouled, it's a free for Bruree. John himself will take this one. John, ever accurate so far today, has a great chance to get this and get a goal and 6 points for Bruree. It looks a very simple assignment from the side of the field, but then again it's a different ball game inside the field. John drive it high and drive it good and drive it over the bar. Bruree playing very well at the moment, anyway.
Well, they're picking up the game there, thanks be to God, in the last few minutes, and they're playing really well. Stephen Halloran is having a good game in the corner, and again Stephen was last year's under 16, so a great future, and I hope this team makes senior ranks next year.
And then will the Glin switches pay dividends? Padraig Hogan there and Paul Corvin.
Well, it's hard to know that the wing forward has gone centre forward. I thought he was playing well enough, and they seem to have shifted him, so I think our centre back will look after him.
Right. Mike McLaughlin drive it high into the centre again, and the ball breaking down there and getting the break down the centre of the field. Miss Davy Fitzgerald, and Davy Fitzgerald with the ball, drive it forward again and trying to set up an attack as the ball coming there, and Donald going down for the ball, holding on to the ball, and then with the right foot this time, drive it forward again past Liam Long in towards the centre, and there is Mike Sexton, John O'Halloran crowned with a point. John making an angle for himself, then steadying himself, sending the dummy, and then trying his shot, half block down there. Good work by Michael Reid in the half back line. As Glin is very, very near slippery conditions. Will the referee throw it in? Now will he have free for Glin? Yes, the pull there on the ground.
Come on, do something.
John Lynch, the engineer, preparing to take this one. He likes the beef. He's driving that one very well high into the centre, and Paul Corrigan breaking down there to Liam Long. Liam Long is he the man to resurrect the fortunes as they're Liam Long going for it all the time. Then he run to hefty challenge, and there the centre back there, Aidan Frawley, and Long get hit again. Is that off the ground? Yes, to the referee. Off the ground to the referee. Trying conditions. Donald McCarthy, Donald the right foot this time. He looks better with the left foot and drive it down towards Mike Sexton. Mike Sexton going for it there, and John O'Brien. Sexton get it up. Sexton thought he was fouled from behind, difficulty in the slippery conditions, and then finding out to John Potter and Potter, or Eddie Potter. Eddie fouled, cut around the neck, and Eddie said he's no time for that to seize award of the free. Will Eddie take it from himself? Eddie'll try for the point.
Keep him going, Donald.
Eddie wearing number 14, playing centre forward position. Eddie would be a great bonus for Bruree if he's in over the bar. Going, looking at great from this angle, drop down forwards inside in the small square, and it's a free out for Glin. Third switch in the Glin team. Paul Corrigan wearing number 10 is gone on Robert Finton to the centre of the field, and centre half forward in is Liam Long. Then switches all around the place in the half forward line as Mike Sexton centre forward for Bruree, driving out again, trying to get it there as Robert Finton there, trying to hold on to it. Mighty work by Finton, and then tackled and laying the ball down and trying to find John O'Halloran across then to Pat Cullen. Will Pat Cullen get a Pat Cullen point, gone to the left and gone over the in line and gone wide. The aerial dominance of Bruree having a telling effect in the centre of the field. Will they keep up this great play for the second half? Only time will tell, as Dennis Richardson there keeping a watchful eye in this intermediate final, the sporting final. Very, very high standard of football in this wet afternoon. Mike McLaughlin high into the centre again. Paul Corrigan going for it. Corrigan trying to field it. Then from behind, and then difficulty in getting it up as Noel Culhan drive it forward again. Noel Culhan trying to set an attack in motion. Donald McCarthy, the captain, leading by example. Drive it forward again. And a good ball by Donald trying to find Mike Sexton. Mike Sexton down to Pat Cullen. Pat Cullen to John O'Halloran. And John O'Halloran then looking for his options, trying to drive it in, but well stopped there by the corner. John Lynch and the engineer, dispossessed by Mike Sexton. And a shoulder to shoulder charge. Sexton, the stronger of the two, getting that ball then and drive it back to the John O'Halloran. Now O'Halloran is another goal coming up. That's a dangerous ball on the edge of the square. It's a goal! Another goal coming up. I said this was a dangerous ball, the edge of the square. Between the backs and the forwards, the goalkeeper took his eye off the ball and the ball into the net. And John O'Halloran kicked to the back of the net, his second goal. Great work by John O'Halloran.
Great work indeed. It looked like it went straight in. I think great credit to Mike Sexton there. He won a 50-50 and he wins most of them anyhow. Fair play to him. He's a strong lad. John Potter was at the edge of the square and he made a noose of himself. So we're pleased at the moment. Now it's going well.
So Danny, you think there'll be celebrations in Bruree tonight?
Well, after the hurling, we won't know until the final whistle.
Fine. And driven out again, Danny, in much better form after that goal, as it's fished down again by Robert Finton. Robert Finton and John O'Halloran. Will O'Halloran go for the point? High ball by O'Halloran, dropping the edge of the square. John O'Brien going for it. John O'Brien never takes his eye from the ball. Then across John Potter going for it. John Potter, dangerous ball is in the goal now to the cornerback, and the cornerback in question is Pádraig Mulvihill, and Mulvihill gone past two men and then holding on to the ball for dear life. Glin under severe pressure as driving it down the Noel Culhan. Noel juggling with it. Noel get it, but the back pass by Noel again back to John Lynch, and John Lynch under pressure kicked it out over the sideline. No one at the end of normal time. Stephen O'Halloran the goal, John O'Halloran the goal. I'm sure they would forgive me if they'll get a goal each. I thought we were 2 goals for John, but definitely Stephen got the first goal. As then drive it in, then is a dangerous ball high. Is it gone over the bar? Yes.
That's a great point from Edward in the conditions.
Edward Potter, sure, a star of the future. Drive it high and drive it over the bar. Bruree can do no wrong today. Such was their disappointment at losing to Kilmallock in the county final. They said when they'd come to Newcastle West they'd make up for it. I'm sure Glin will have different ideas in the second half. Glin visibly shaken, but they were saying before the game that match practice was an inhibiting factor in the Glin build-up. But 2 goals and 7 points, 13 points to 1 as Mike McLaughlin nearing the half-time whistle, drive it high into the centre field, punched down again by Pat Cullen. Pat Cullen trying to find John O'Brien, but going for there is the other John Lynch, and John Lynch battling with John O'Brien, and John Lynch sliding the tackle, and then half blocked down. Edward Potter. John Lynch kick it high, going for there and get it there. It's Pat Cullen. Pat Cullen drive it down again, and then Being picked up there by the midfield man, Michael Reid, list the midfield, trying to find the centre forward home with Padraig Hogan. Hogan trying to inspire Glin, down to Liam Long. Will Liam Long go for the goal? Will he get the penalty? And then sending the dummy. Liam gone about 20 yards out. Will he take the point? High by Long and good by Long and over the bar. An inspiring point by Liam Long.
Yes, a good point by Liam. A fine footballer. What can you say about him? He's a lovely footballer. Good point.
And a good build-up by Padraig Hogan. Padraig Hogan, a great man to carry the ball, playing more in the centre now than the corner, and then send it high and send it over the bar. As Morris really there, having a battle with Seamus Murphy, the corner back and the corner forward. Murphy wearing number 17 for Bruree, and Morris in the corner forward for Glin wearing number 22. As the very near the half-time whistle, Andrew O'Shea prepares to take this kick out, and Andrew drive it high. The half-time whistle sounds, and the scored half-time, 2 goals and 7 points. That's a total of 17. 2 points for Glin. I suppose we'll see an exciting second half, Denny.
Well, I hope it didn't too exciting now. I hope that Glin play all right, but I don't want them coming back at us like Kilmallock did, you know. I'm sure the boys won't be anyway complacent at half time after the hurling final, as I say, so we'll go down now and we'll have a little chat with them.
Good on you.
We're pleased at the moment.
Goals and 7 points for Bruree, 2 points for Glin. It's one change in the second half. John O'Brien, injured in Bruree in the first half, is replaced by Mike McCarthy. As we look at Pat Cullinan, Robert Fenton and Davy Fitzgerald and Liam Long. Liam Long moved into centre forward in the first half, as Glin will they fight back. A deficit of 11 points. Is asking too much from the men from the Shannon to come back as the breeze has died down, and 2 goals and 7 points to 2 points as they are leading by example as the halfback Stephen McDonough. The referee Dennis Richardson synchronising his watch. That is put down by Pat Cullinan again. Pat Cullinan trying to find Mike Sexton, and Sexton then trying to find John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran with an influential figure in the first half. John O'Halloran then to hefty challenge there from Shane Fitzgerald, and then drive it forward again and try a dangerous ball. Pat Cullinan towards the edge of the square, and going for there is John Conley, and then coming out as the corner back is Michael McMahon drive it forward again, and then Pat Cullinan, the big sturdy figure of Mike, trying to set up a net from the other Mike McCarthy, his first touch of the ball, hopping the ball, then he will just drive this ball across the edge of the square, and they're going for there is the full back John Conley, and Conley majestic there in defence, foul to the referee and a free for Glin. Yes, well, John Conley inspired the men from Glin, drive it down to the centre again, trying to find Padraig Hogan batting it down there and coming in, then is Robert Fenton. Will they absorb? Then the centre back Aidan Frawley drive it down to Mike Sexton making an angle for himself, and then going down very, very near the in-line and battling for it there is Mike McMahon battling for it, and there's Stephen O'Halloran getting Steve O'Halloran, dangerous ball across. Is there a goal coming up? A goal there is, and a goal by the full forward Eddie Potter. Eddie Potter never took his eye off the ball, and is this the cushion for Bruree to win a county title? Stephen O'Halloran got a goal, made a goal, and then Eddie Potter gets cool over a tree for Bruree, and then and deadly hurry this time. Mike McLaughlin into the centre, the breaking ball gone past to the half-forward line and pulled on again, and going for there is the half. Steve McDonough, hurler, comfort baller, Clint a hefty challenge, showing the training done in the Gaelic grounds was standing to him at this stage. But then as Bruree coming in, and Peter Finn, number 4, driving forward again, trying to find John Potter, a quick ball across. Bruree playing majestic. Then is that going to Eddie Potter? Will Eddie pass the outside? Will he go for to be fouled? And is he fouled? Yes, to the referee. But the free is the free for Glin. Eddie, as he deemed to overcarry the ball. A sense of urgency about Mike McLaughlin. Mike take it from the hand. And the 25-year-old McLaughlin high, Liam Long going up for it, and Liam Long fisted forward again, and coming down for it then, and Liam Mulvihill, one Liam to the other Liam, and Liam Mulvihill then, his pass blocked down by the number 8 and Robert Fenton a challenge from behind, Liam Mulvihill, and Steve McDonough, and Liam, a dangerous ball across to number 5, and the number 5 there is Davy Fitzgerald, the ball across through, and Glin looking for that score, but trying to get here, there is the cornerback Seamus Murphy, and Seamus Murphy drive very near the sideline off the booty, Seamus Murphy, a line ball for Paul Curran to take it. Paul, who started off in the half forward, moved to centre forward and now in the midfield, and Paul in the forwards again for the second half. Paul Curran, a high throwing ball dropping down between Thomas going for it, and then ball coming down trying to get there, and Thomas Mulvihill with the ball, and Thomas Sullivan with the ball. His shot half blocked down again, and ball breaking down trying to get there as Padraig Hogan as well, as then Bruree come away with it again. Stephen McDonough, and McDonough will send the dummy, and McDonough sends the dummy, and then with the ball glued to his stick and showing the fitness of the man, and still with the ball going going down to Mike McCarthy. Mike switching from one Mike to the other. The roving Mike, and the roving Mike drive it down. And the other Mike get it. And Michael Reid, the game between all the Michaels, as coming into the centre again. Mike, Steve McDonough fence it down. And Paul Curvin, a dangerous ball. Is there a goal coming up? The goalkeeper is eyeing it. Will it hop out of the inline wide? Dangerous ball by Paul Curvin as Glin there trying to set up an attack. Well, Danny from Glin, Danny and right, who were refereeing a game early. Glin will want badly a score at this stage.
I think the last score for Bruree, I think, has clinched this match for Bruree, and I think Glin are really up against an uphill battle from now on.
And I suppose lack of match practice up to the final was an inhibiting factor.
I think the 6 weeks hold up was a disaster.
Well, Danny and right hoping as Glin bring on a substitute coming on for offside the field. Keith Sullivan coming in, and Keith Sullivan, I'm sure, will he go into the corner forward position. Morris Reedy going off and Keith Sullivan coming on.
Keith Sullivan going into forward.
Ball driven out again. Steve McDonough got it. Liam Mulvihill going for it, and Keith Sullivan taking the action. But Steve McDonough, a hefty challenge. McDonough's fouled, and it's a free for Bruree. Peter Finn give it to Steve McDonough. Stephen McDonough, a quick ball by Stephen, the quick trinky. Stephen got after Robert Fenton, but was Robert fouled? Yes, so the referee Dennis Richardson. Robert himself to take it. Robert the probing ball, trying to find Mike McCarthy. Mike slips there, and John Lynch going for it. John Lynch pulling in it there, and down again. All McCarthy to Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy difficulty into a hefty chance. Still Mike McCarthy back into Donald McCarthy, the captain leading by example with the right foot this time, and Donald McCarthy probing ball down again, dropping around the edge of the square, and Tom Connolly there trying to get it, and Connolly then get it high and turning defence into attack, and but then Bruree is super fit, and then get it, is that midfielder there is Robert Fenton into the centre there, and the ball slippery conditions. I'll get it. Noel Culhang injured earlier on. The centre back drive it forward again. The ball breaking down, and Paul Curvin battling for it. But winning the battle there is Aidan Frawley. Aidan Frawley to the roving Mike, and the roving Mike is Mike McCarthy. Runs into a heavy challenge. Foul there, and Mike himself, will he let it in the ground? Will he take it from the hand? Mike is playing here, there, and everywhere. He must be extra fit. He started off and came in as a sub. They said that, and then Mike drive it down to the corner, trying to get Mike Sexton, one Mike to the other Mike, and Mike Sexton going to hefty challenge there, and the ball gone off Mike Sexton and gonna touch it in the ground, and a free for Glin. No, Culhane drive it forward again. Will Paul Cullivan get the breaking ball? No, it just got slipped from Aidan Frawley. Aidan Frawley into Robert Fenton, and Robert Fenton drive it forward again, trying to find John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran waiting for the breaking pass there, but Mike Sexton get it. John Potter get it. John Potter is injured. John Potter there. John Potter looking for attention from the sideline. Slipped there, and just another player slipped over him. John Potter having a great game for Bruree. Will be a tremendous loss. Limping there. Well, Denny.
Well, we're very pleased, as the other Danny says, that goal at the start of the second half, it should really set up Bruree for the victory. I think Mike McCarthy, since he came in, he was told to Roman he's doing, and he's picking up a lot of ball.
And I suppose the hurling in matches, fitness, they're very fit.
Well, that's the thing about Glin. We're waiting 6 to 8 weeks for this match, which was no fault of ours. Like we had matches to play. Match practice, you can't beat it, you know. It keeps the fellas ticking over, keeps them on the edge.
And I suppose then trying to make up for the county hurling title.
Oh, indeed.
Right, Bruree free to be taken there by their midfielder Robert Fenton, or John O'Halloran, the man that scored the goal. John O'Halloran. They aren't satisfied with their tally of 3-7. They're trying to add on further scores. Very determined team, and John O'Halloran drive it in, and then Davy Fitzgerald drive it high into the centre, going for it there and trying to get it, and just Steve McDonough, despairing dive there by Pat Cullinan, but he comes into the halfback, and every time then get it, then is Robert Fenton across to Stevie McDonough there, the left-footed McDonough, drive turning defence into attack, and the ball coming down to booted out there is John Connolly very near the side, and maybe who shot over the line, fouls to the referee, free for Glin. The 6-foot cabinet maker, John, to take it. John, his mind isn't a cabinet maker at the moment, as then the other centre back gets the ball, Aidan Frawley. Frawley there, great man to read the game. Then to the high midfield, Pat Cullinan gone to past 2 challenges, and Cullinan drive it forward again, trying to set up another attack. And Mike McMahon, the storm of the first half, then drive it out again to the John Lynch and Glin who played midfield with the Glin under 21. The probing ball, is there a goal coming up for Glin? No, so the men from Bruree, and there the cornerback. There's a Mike Potter there, and then Mike Potter to Paul Sexton and Peter Finn out to Stevie McDonough, and McDonough, the tigerish McDonough, drive it very near the end line, and there the ball very, very near in front of us. Is that Steve Mulvihill get hit, and Liam Mulvihill wearing number 17 there, being Harrison behind by John O'Halloran, and then Liam Mulvihill still with the ball, then the ball going up very, very near the end line, and then coming down, and there's Will Keith get the point, and then he making an angle for himself. A dangerous ball dropping around the edge of the square there, badly near the goal. Will the goal come as the ball coming out? Is it Paul Curran? A dangerous ball shot off the ground, says Danny Enright, and Danny Enright. Danny, he referee the North Kerry Championship this morning. He could see that. He's a deadly eye for touching the ball on the ground, and it's a penalty. Who will take the penalty? Who will take the penalty?
Padraig Hogan, it's
It looks from this angle as this number 11, Padraig Hogan. Padraig, who got the opening score of the game. Will this be the goal that will bring back the men from Glin? The goalkeeper, Andrew O'Shea. Padraig Hogan goes to the right side. Will he go to the right side this time? Oh! Goes driving it into the left side, and the ball through the net, and the goal for Glin. The Glin followers wide with excitement. Umbrellas in the far off side of the field, reminiscent of the Grand National Day in Listowel as the rain thundering down. Will Glin come back, or will Bruree maintain the momentum as Andrew O'Shea preparing to take this kick out? A goal and 2 points to 3 goals and 7, 5 points to 16 as Andrew drive it high. The rain coming down and downpours. Donald McCarthy going for it in, but Tom Sullivan, dangerous ball, going very, very near the end line, trying to keep Peter Finn, and Peter Finn just shielding off his man, and the ball gone out over the end line and gone wide. Shane Fitzgerald out on the Glin team. They prayed for Glin that the strength of the breeze would increase between 10 to 3 and 20 past 3. The breeze is coming as a lone curlew flies overhead and gone to the Atlantic Ocean and driven out there by Andrew O'Shea. Andrew O'Shea, a high ball, will be broken down again as Donald McCarthy is waiting for the breaking ball. But Tom Sullivan get it. Thomas fouled. Yes, the referee free for Glin. Free scoring opportunity. Padraig Hogan on cloud 9 since the penalty. Should point this one high by Padraig and going over the bar. Glin coming back the last few minutes.
Yes, we're going to point there in the last few minutes, and I think we could be in for a storming finish just yet.
And the other, Denny, you saw the penalty mile.
Well, I think Glin would need another goal in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Will they get another penalty, Denny?
I'm not refereeing this one.
As Andrew O'Shea, a great sense of atmosphere in Newcastle West. You think it was the middle of summer, the people are so happy. Steve McDonough going for it there, and Liam Mulvihill coming into the game the last few minutes. McDonough tried to shade him, Mulvihill dispossessed again and coming down to Kieran Adams, better known the motoring trade, and then coming down again to Noel Calhan. Dangerous ball. Is there a goal coming up with old Shane Fitzgerald coming out into the midfield man Robert Fenton, and Fenton a high ball. Or is it Fenton? No, coming down to Robert Fenton now, and Robert Fenton, he's looking for the ball. Robert Fenton then, he's looking then, and Liam Mulvihill coming again. Will he take the point? They'll be better up to, they're building up for the goal. No, Calhan get it. No, Liam Mulvihill down injured. No, Calhan, well, he's gone about 20 yards out, taking a shot high and gone to the left. Was he fouled after the ball was taken? Yes, said the referee. Or is he saying no? It's hard to judge from this angle. It's just heavy cautionary word. There's 2 players down, injured there, conditions very, very slippery. Limping there is Pat Cullen and Liam Mulvihill. Pat Cullen, the big midfielder, and Liam Mulvihill, who was going more into the game the last few minutes. Glin wanting every score. 6 points to 16, 10 points between them, 1-3 to 3-7 at half time. The scoreboard read 2-7 points. Bruree have just got 1 goal since the second half, and Glin a goal and a point. Liam Mulvihill, he was listed as Neil Mulvihill in the players, but Liam, he was baptised Liam, and Liam playing would be an awful loss for Glin at this stage. Looks to be in trouble as he is being attended to by mentors from Glin and officials here at Newcastle West. The rain increases in tempo. change of underwear and clothes before he came here to Newcastle West. Ball touched in the ground, says Denny, but the referee allows the advantage. And the ball coming down to Steve McDonough. McDonough tigerish in defence, and McDonough leading by example. Then this man is full of determination, and then Steve McDonough driving in towards, trying to find the corner forward, and John Lynch going for it there, and then getting there, the corner forward, Stephen O'Halloran. Stephen O'Halloran, one Stephen to the other Stephen, and then no Culhan crossed in to Davy Fitzgerald. Davy Fitzgerald was in the half back, and Davy trying to inspire Glin, drive it down again, and waiting for the breaking ball there. Where's the breaking ball going? It's going to Bruree in the breaking man, and the get it there is Seamus Murphy. Seamus Murphy, there was a Seamus Murphy that from camp that played with Kerry, but this is Seamus Murphy to the roving Mike, and Mike McCarthy drive it forward again, and then Glin playing with determination and coming out into the house. John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran, a dangerous ball forward. The goalkeeper is off his line again, and showing that he's a soccer player as well as a footballer. Driven down there by Mike McLaren. No Culhan. Drive it forward to Liam Long, and the veteran will go and carry the ball. Will he be fouled in transit? He's gone about 20 yards out, gathers the ball, and then he'll go for his point. He'll get his point. Liam high and over the bar. Mighty work by Long as Glin storm back into the game. A goal and 4 points to 2, 3 goals and 7 points. Just 3 goals between the teams, 9 points. Glin gradually bringing down the lead. Will they have enough time as switches in the Bruree team? The switches that Pat Cullen has got into the half forward line, and Mike Sexton coming out to the middle of the field, playing against the elements as the manager Pat Potter walks across the field. The selectors Pat Potter for Tony Kelleher and Noel O'Halloran, and then the Glin coach Willie Fitzgerald, anxious eyes looking for the next score for Glin. The ball breaking down again. Noel Culhan fouled in transit. Noel will take the quick one. He will bring it forward, said the referee. Yes, this the referee is urging him. He tried to take the quick free, being impelled from do so. And who will take this free? Padraig Hogan. Padraig Hogan and Song. Hogan, who scored from the penalty, who got a goal and 2 altogether, got a goal and 2 out of the total of a goal and 4. Liam Long got a point, and then Padraig taking great care, place it, drive it high into, will they stop at the top of the net, or will it go over the in-line wide? Over the in-line wide with outstretched hands, the umpire on the far side of the field. Glin may rue these misses as every score is important. About 17 minutes left, not counting injury time, and then there's Andrew O'Shea preparing to take this kick out. Andrew looking over towards the far offside of the field, looking out towards Robert Finton. Andrew high ball dropping up for Mike Sexton. Mike Sexton punch it forward again, and then get it there is Liam Long, and Liam Long making an angle for himself, then holding the ball. He'd be better advised to get rid of the ball, then drive it forward in the high ball by Long, and gone over the in-line and gone wide. Halfway through the second half, will Glin come back and get the 9 points, 3 goals between? 17 minutes left. As the referee there, assisting one of the Glin players, Dennis Richardson. Is it Liam Long? Liam alright, resuming his position in the centre of the field as Noel Culhan playing here, there and everywhere, going up for the ball along with Robert Finton. Who will get it? Culhan breaks it down, but the breaking ball to still let Stevie McDonough, and Stevie McDonough drive it high again, trying to find John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran going for there, Davy Fitzgerald. John O'Halloran being fouled, it's a free for Bruree. John O'Halloran will take the quick one, trying to engineer a score, and then John O'Halloran to Stephen. Brotherly love of Stephen, very, very near the sideline. Harrison behind then, and then Stephen O'Halloran still with the ball, being harassed by Mike McMahon. Stephen O'Halloran gone 20 yards. Will he crown it off with a score, making an angle for himself, and then driving across the edge of the square? Going for there is roving Mike, but get here there instead is Michael Reedy to John Lynch, and then dropping in the centre, and Bruree badly trying to get a score, and then coming across again to this man, the centre, Robert Finton going for it, Robert Finton across to John O'Halloran. John O'Halloran will try it all the way to bring for, so will he get the point? No, they're going very, very near the in-line, still not going to play, and going for it there is Mike McMahon. Mike's gone balls, outstretched hands, the linesman, as Mike McLaughlin, the man born in Birmingham, kicking with the left foot, driving this ball high into the centre, then Liam Long going up for it again, but then it goes past the midfield, coming down to the centre back. Aidan Frawley, tower of strength there in the centre back position, reading the game, trying to find his full forward, and Tom Potter get hit there. John Potter, dangerous ball that goes off on the Glin players, and ball breaking down again, and going for the Ed Potter, but then John Lynch playing exceptionally sound, down to Mike Sexton with the ball, and Sexton a clever ball. Was he fouled when the ball was kicked? Yes, the referee, a free for a challenge there, as Mike Sexton there grimacing with pain.
I think Mike will be alright.
Mike, I suppose, feigning injury at this stage.
I think Mike will be okay. I think you could hit Mike all day.
Oh, Mike is like the Rock of Cashel, shows his well-being by taking the free from the hand, asking the referee, and Mike Sexton calling for his Robert Finton. Is a sub in for Glin.
Padraig Mulvihill. Brother Liam.
Padraig Mulvihill in for Liam Mulvihill. Liam there injured a while ago, and Padraig there listed as number 2 in the programme, wearing number 2, playing the half-hour position. Eddie Potter given the advantage, and then the great man to carry the ball. Has he over-carried it? No, then placing the ball inside, trying to find the corner forward there, and then John Connolly battling for it, and drive it, Paul. Drive it forward again, and then ball coming down again. Is that a snap score? Keith Sullivan going for it then, and then the forwards running off, and look, calling for it there is Padraig Mulvihill is coming down. Stephen McDonough let it go over the in-line. McDonough deadly turn the foot by McDonough.
Keep it going, John. Keep it going, boy. Keep it going. 15 minutes to go, boss. Keep it going.
Glin under pressure at this stage, badly in need of a score. We hadn't a score for a while as Dennis Richardson checks his watch, and here's the watch says 16 minutes 32 and a half seconds, and driven out again, not a great ball this time by Andrew O'Shea, but given to the midfielder instead, and Robert Finton going to have to challenge there, and Liam Long there being dispossessed by Peter Finn, and Finn and Long battling for it as the ball goes off. It appears from this angle it was a Bruree ball, had to see as the linesmen there very near the action. Robert Finton to take this one himself. Looking for it in the centre is Pat Cullen. Robert Finton to see McDonough back to Finton, and Finton then playing possession football, sidestepping the tackle, sidestepping Padraig Mulvihill, and drive it forward again, and Davy Fitz drive it to danger. There's Kieran Getty, the man Adams, more associated with the Renault car, associated with the football here, drive it very, very near the in-line and gone out over the line ball. Gone over the in-line and wide.
You want to get a drive to catch that one.
12 minutes left in the game. Dennis Richardson checking his watch. Are Bruree going to win the county intermediate title, or will Glin have a storming finish? Yes, both teams physically exhausted as waiting for the quick kick out is Peter Finn, but just Peter being spotted there the last minute as Andrew O'Shea looking at the far offside the field. Waiting for it is Robert Finton, and the tall figure of Robert Finton wearing the number 8 going for the ball. Will he get the breaking ball? The ball coming down again, and then Robert Finton going for it. Robert Finton going in, but then lying down the easy surface as Glin players here there. Paul Corvin the dummy, and then Corvin a probing ball across the edge of the square. Was it gone out over the in-line and wide, trying to be kept in play, but gone out over the in-line and wide. Scoreboard reads 3 goals and 7 points. That's a total of 16. A goal and 4 for Bruree as we're entering the last 10 minutes of the Central Intermediate final. Dennis Richardson there having a word with a few of the players, few of them asking how much time is left in the game, and appears to go on the intermediate hurling title. It looks as if Bruree will win this game, but then it's early days as Mike Sexton battling for it there, and mighty fielding by Noel Culhan, surely the Glin player of the match, and Ogan past Treeman, and then finding Tom Sullivan making an angle for himself, going to heavily take Wade and Folly. A good ball by Tom Sullivan, high ball and over the bar. Is that a free out? Yes, charge on the goalkeeper, reminiscent of the late 60s as the forwards were in before the ball came in. A square ball says Danny Enright, and Danny should know as he's refereed games since 1947. That's it, 47 years, and he's still well, Danny not looking great for Glino.
Things are looking very bad. Bruree are a better team by far, though, chasing everything in.
And Danny, is the title going to Bruree, or is Liam Long have a different say? Shane Fitzgerald never give you up. A dangerous ball by Shane. Ball coming across the edge of the square, and then mighty feeding there by Peter Finn, and Peter Finn going past Treeman, trying to find Shane going for it again. Shane never took his eye off the ball, then Shane driving down. The number 2, Padraig Mulvihill, will he engineer the goal that they're wanting for? And no, says the roving Mike McCarthy across and driving across into, and setting up another attack is Steve McDonough, or Donald McCarthy. The ball coming down again. Bruree players trying to get it out, and Mike McCarthy again with the ball, and Mike is fouled. Donald McCarthy to take it. Donald, the captain, leading by example, has dreams of winning the county title. Donald high, but gone out over after Donald's boat and gone out over the line. Line ball for Glin. It's about 6.5 minutes since we had a score. Is a score coming up shortly? Driven in the attack again, down towards the corner, and then Tom Sullivan get hit. Tom Sullivan will try and pass, find Paul Curran, and then Tom Sullivan dangerous probing ball across, and the ball being fisted out there by Bruree defence, very alert, and my driving out by Aidan Frawley, Shane Fitzgerald, Shane battling for it, and Shane drive. No O'Callaghan appeared to be a foul from this angle to heavy challenge then, and O'Callaghan across to the Pádraig Mulvihill high, and Mulvihill just over the line and wide. Yes, both teams, the standard of football, gone down a little in the last few minutes as both teams physically exhausted after a grueling encounter as the man shows how slippery it is, slipping there, trying to retrieve the ball from behind the goals. Bruree substitute warming up on the far offside of the field. Two of the Bruree substitutes warming up as Andrew drive it high again to the centre, and then no O'Callaghan, surely as I said, the man the match for Glin, giving it all he has, and then will take this free, or will he let it instead to Pádraig Hogan? Pádraig Hogan in a great hurry to take this free. If he'll get this point, there'll be just 8 points between them. Marrowing for a grandstand finish, or is that too much to expect in Newcastle West? Pádraig will try for the point, and Pádraig gets the point, and high and over the bar. A mute silence greets the score on the far side of the field as Glin appear at this stage to be reconciled with the fact that Bruree are going to be counted.